Hi, everybody. I am apologies for running late. I um, had other engagements that I had to deal with, and so I was running a little bit late. And I also have some connection problems, so I'm not at home. We may have some background noises, um, but I wanted to. I'm going to try to find a little bit more of a quiet, secluded area in here. Um, well, no, I'll tell you what. Let's just let's just get things started because I kind of want to talk to you all today. As you can see, my topic today is that it is more than okay not to be okay, right? So, what does that mean, right? I myself have been grappling with quite a few things myself, right? What does that mean? What does that really mean? It's okay not to be okay. And so, as you know, I've chosen to coach professionals, people that have been affected by trauma or tragedy. And because oftentimes when something has affected your life, right, in such a deep way, you often deal with things and think a little different than people who haven't, right? And so that's why I specifically coach those people that are looking for, a more vibrant life and to be able to reset their mindset. And so it was dawning on me as I was dealing with things this week myself, with everything that's going on. And I had to kind of really go, what does that really mean? And, I'm sorry, but I did write out some things, and you'll see me looking at it a little more today than usual because it's it's a little bit more today of coming to terms with things in yourself, and it's for everybody. Everybody's coming to terms in their own way, no matter what race they are either. So what I decided is I thought about it and I said the events that we have encountered with both crises, we're pushing back and forth between acceptance of not wanting to be a part of any form of racist from one side and choosing that you won't be a part of letting that affect your life anymore. So I've come to realize the depth of trauma and tragedy that we that black people face, period, and that in itself has brought about, from everything that I've seen this last few days, has come about making things really hard to accept your emotions. And so I say to myself, I also sought to open my understanding that, bear with me, while of course white people have to, they won't reject it, and rightfully so. They're born into privilege and entitlement and all of those things that come with that. And there's people's souls are stirring. And so even their souls are stirring with having to grapple with that it's having those benefits and what it has cost black people. And so even people that have a good and kind heart have to come to that. So they're going through some type of, of emotional discomfort as well too. Our emotional discomfort is something that's been boiling. And so right now you say, well, how do I can't deal with all this? Some are still working online, some have gone back to work, some of us have um, done ways that we're still waiting to go back to work. And there's so many emotions going on right now. And you know what? We're just not okay, right? And so that's okay. So right now, I want to give you 3 tools to kind of help you cope and help you be able to know that it's okay not to be okay. I mean, it's really okay, but that you can still move forward, right? And you can still kind of, because you have responsibilities, you have families, you have things, and how do you sort through these emotions? And to be honest with you guys, I'm really kind of grappling with this, as you might can see. This is not one of our really regular um, shows that I would do. And so my mind has kind of gone back and forth with this in a couple of ways to bring this to you. And so, um, it's been hard this week. It's really been hard. And the things that I'm hearing from you all are that you're grieving and you don't know what to do with all of these feelings. Well, I'm here to tell you that one of the tools I'm going to give you today is to tell you to embrace it, right? Embrace it. There was something that I saw um, that told me that you have to look at how to make sure that you feel what you're feeling, and then you can sort through them. But one of the tools I want to give you today is how to get that one step, that first step that says, how do I balance all of this? How do I embrace this and balance it? We've got one side that has to balance an ancestral lifetime of pain, hurt, and anger and frustration that's erupted, demanding change and refusing to accept, following the mindsets that they've been in, that we've been in for so long, any longer. And on the other hand, you have whites that are no longer able to hide and say, you know, what do I do? So now they're balancing having to be aware and be able to move forward with making that change and letting go of some of that privilege. So what do? I'm basically going to talk about Black people because for white people, it's just really time that you listen. And there's a thing that I saw that says, I want every single white person in here, which they were all white, to say, if you want to be treated like Black people, if you want the same type, want to have the same treatments, want to have the same benefits, want to have all of the things exactly the way that Black people have them, if you're willing to accept being treated like that, stand up. Well, nobody stood up. And so she said, I don't think you heard me. If you're willing to be treated like Black people are treated in America, stand up. And nobody did. And so her question was, well, then why are you willing to accept it? So that aside, that enough says in itself. So for those of us that are saying, how do I balance this? One thing is, the 3 things we're going to talk about is to take a few minutes to unplug. What do you do when you unplug? Take a minute to check in where you are. and how you're feeling and why. Are those feelings coming from personal, or are those feelings coming from a place of empathy? And then third we're going to talk about not dimming down your shine for anybody, right? So let's go through that in the next, let's take about 6 or 7 minutes here and go through that. So, as I was talking about earlier, when you take in a few moments to check where your feelings are coming from a place of empathy or a place of personal. The reason why that's important is because that's going to help you understand what all those emotions about. What are you grieving for? What are you angry about? What are you frustrated about? Where is that coming from? Is it an experience that you had? Is it that you've never had this experience directly, but a friend has gone through it, or you've watched someone go through something, or you see that something's not right? Once you check that, then you're able to understand and say, okay, how can I look at this from a perspective that it is purposeful, that I am a part of whatever needs to happen or whatever needs to change. Okay, so that means if I'm angry and frustrated because I've gone through this, then I'm able to look and say, okay, well, then I need to see that what I went through was not in vain, and then figure out maybe how to become part of the change. If it's something you're feeling from empathy, you can look at it as in, yeah, I've gone through this. I haven't gone through this, or someone else has gone through this, and that what is it that I'm feeling? Why am I feeling this? I need to check what I can do from inside to help someone else who has gone through it, right? So it's a matter of checking yourself, becoming aware of where those feelings are coming from. And then the other thing about that is let yourself feel it. Let yourself feel those feelings. If you're mad, if you're angry, if you're frustrated, let yourself feel those feelings, because your soul is going to speak to you, and it's releasing, and it wants to release whatever it is that you're feeling and why. Be okay with that. And sometimes we get in a place where we unplug, right? It's like, this is overwhelming. I need to unplug between coronavirus and between coronavirus and between this going on in the killing of George Floyd and everything that has come because of it. I'm just consumed, and it sends my emotions even further. When you unplug, it's like, okay, what do you do now? There are some things you can do. When you unplug, really unplug for a minute, and that's okay. And you're unplugging because you're not okay and you're feeling all these emotions, but we're talking about how do you balance it, right? How do you balance this feeling of not being okay? Okay? And so when you unplug, change what you're doing for a little while. You can go for a walk, or you can do something else. Listen to some music that's different, right? Listen to some music that makes you happy or makes you jump. Try not to listen to music that will take you down in any kind of way, but that it will uplift you. Because here's the thing: no matter which way you're facing, having to deal with everything that's going on, you need some strength and you need some energy. And that's why it's important to, when you unplug, do something different. Go and make yourself a nutritious meal. Feed yourself with some fluids and nutrients and those types of things, because more than likely, if you've been consumed, you haven't been doing that. You know, talk to someone about something else other than that. Talk to someone else. I like to go and look at babies. They make me happy to just go even look at babies. And so, um, do that. Do those things that when you unplug, meditate. If you don't know how to meditate, just sit somewhere and close your eyes and breathe for a few minutes and just breathe and just think of good thoughts. These are things that, while they seem so simple, people don't do them because they go, oh, yeah, no, I can't do that. It never works for me. Well, like I said before, you didn't know how to ride a bike at first either. If you would have quit when you fell off, you would never have the joy of riding that bike or so many other things you've learned how to do, right? So keep trying to go within yourself and listen to what inside of you is telling you, okay? And just, hug someone that you love and be in a place where you're all the emotions that you're feeling, that you take some time and nurture the feeling of hope, and you nurture the feeling of feeling good, and you nurture the feeling of visioning, and you nurture those feelings for a while, because the other stuff is there and it's not going anywhere for now. So that's something that you want to do when you unplug, so you can strengthen yourself, to go through all of these things that we're going to be going through over quite a long time here during this process of change, right? The last thing I want to talk to you, because we're going a little bit over time, the last thing I want to talk to you about is the importance of not dimming down your shine to make anyone who is unworthy comfortable, okay? That is important. And that is something that we as Black people have done for so long, okay? We don't let a person know that we're hurt. Send your boss an anonymous letter. There are things on the internet that are floating around that talk about what we're feeling when we are hurting, but yet and still we come into work pretending like we don't. We come into work pretending like we don't see that you overlooked us for a promotion. We come into work pretend like that you didn't say, hey, if you don't come back to work, we're gonna have to report that you refuse work, when we know that when someone a white person may have called, you may have said, um, well, when do you think you could come? Well, okay, I understand. I'll try to hold on. We know the unfairness. We don't have to dim it down. But what I want to share with you is this: everything is about how you do it. You don't dim down your shine, but everything is about how you do it. Speak your truth. It is right. Speak your truth, but make sure that you speak it where you're providing information and knowledge, where you are educating someone else about respecting your feelings and your truths. You know, be open to not only give your point of view and what you're really thinking and feeling. And of course, you're smart, you know how to map that out in your various situations. I'm not asking you to say anything that's going to jeopardize your job unless you're really willing to take that full step. Because if another person on the other side is really trying to be open and learn, then you speaking your truth is not going to put your job in jeopardy. That is something that has kept us under control for so long. But speak your truth. It's okay. And that's another part of how you come out of not being okay. Okay? It is completely okay to not be okay. All right? But you've got to do these three things. You've got to take a few minutes to check where it's coming from so that you can understand how to deal with it, how to release it, how to either open yourself up for some serious understanding and empathy, or how you can open yourself up for letting it come out and listen to yourself on how to make the change and not let it simply fester into sustained anger. Okay, it has to turn positive. The second thing is you gotta do something positive when you unplug. You've got to go and you've got to relieve that tension and embrace the things, the good part of those emotions. And third, you got to make sure you don't dim down your shine anymore for anybody that's undeserving of it or just to make someone comfortable. Okay, and so as I close, I want to thank you all for spending a few minutes with me, and thank you for, I'm sorry that I had these technicals, that I was late, but I've said a few things, and there's so many things in my heart that I want to share with you because I know everyone is really, really battling with a lot of things. And so I may do a follow up this week, but right now, I just want to let everyone know that you don't have to apologize for being black. You don't have to apologize if you are of any other race, especially white, that you are feeling confused about all the feelings that you're feeling either. You just have to be open to the change because you do have to change. We just want to open up and be ourselves and be free to be ourselves. Neither emotion has to be okay with not being okay right now because both of those changes are serious and both of those changes are necessary. So, I'm not going to take up any more of your time today. I want you to not to forget to share, comment, like my page, share it with someone else who may need it. Um, Stay tuned. I'll probably do some follow ups this week. And always, if you are trying to make a transformation in your lifetime that you don't know how to do it, you're not sure what to do, that is what I do. I coach and I have a program that teach you tools and methods and awareness and energy shifts to shift your mindset so that you can live your life vibrantly, because I believe you can soar. I believe that you can live a life of vibrancy. I want you to know that it really is possible. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Stay aware and be a part of change no matter what you do. Be a part of the change no matter how long it takes. Take care. I think I got it. Yes. And